We're live. Hello, and welcome to
Warhammer Online.
Warhammer Online, Monday Musing 68, I think,
Oh,
yes.
wow, we've done so
to
many.
be honest, I've made that number up for the last several weeks. So thank you for joining me. Tonight we've got a special guest. Rachel's here.
Hey.
And the loose, and I think that's the best way to describe it, loose title of the show is Prep for the Doubles Tournament.
Yeah. In that I've done none.
So we're going to start tonight. So Rachel came round and we've got her Seraphon army out on the desk. So we know what options are available.
Yep.
We know what options require no painting. We know what options require some painting.
I will be doing none. So.
And we're going to be attempting to put together a 1,000-point list because this is for a doubles tournament.
Yep.
Your partner is...
Mr. Pink.
And Mr. Pink is taking... Stormcast Eternal. Do you actually know?
No, right, so I knew it was the angel things and like the name of them. It's been a while since I've done Warhammer, Phil.
Oh, for God's sakes.
just went...
Right, let's catch up with the chat. Hopefully you can hear us and we're not
Screeching
with our nonsense. Ortboy says, okay, I'm ready. Evening. Derpus Maximus joining in. Ortboy is in. Patrick, of course, Patrick is in there. Hey, Patrick. Glad to hear that things are doing well and in the real world front. And we might see you around a little bit more, which would be fantastic. Orc says hi. Derpimus Maximus says, so, anybody tempted by the new paints to start a Horde army?
Yeah.
Too right. You don't know anything about the new paints. Well, you're going to be using them very shortly.
You realise I'm not painting my army, right? We've established this.
Jude says yes. Vaughan Killian is in there saying hi. Or Judge Gudge is joining us. Hey, Judge, looking good. I still think you could paint better than the guy that won Golden Demon. So if you'd have put one in this year, you'd have definitely won. I know that's a bit unfair. I really like the new Golden Demon winner this year, actually. I like the style was quite different to previous years.
Have we got a picture of it?
I can probably find it, Rachel, but thanks for exposing what I haven't got ready. Frost and Fist to save their beautiful people. Dave Dog says, Goblins, 5 dispossessed dwarves, no. Oh, Goblins, 5 dispossessed dwarves, no. Oof, dear. Orc Boys saying hello. And I think I remember Mr. Pink painting a Beastman army. No, that was Sam who painted the Beastman army. And then that Beastman army was later adopted by Liam. And I think Liam is taking Beastman again this year. And it's actually going to be Slaneshi Beastman.
Ooh,
because the new Slaneshi rules are absolutely filthy. I expect to lose against Slanesh, basically. That's what it's all about this tournament.
Although, actually, now you mention it, I think Pink was on about taking Corn.
I don't know what that noise was, but there was a noise in the background there, so I've no idea. But we'll come back to that in a minute. But if someone's given a donation, thank you very much. That's nice. Thank you very much at whatever it is.
I thought it used to pop up when we got donations.
I know it should, and I'm just looking why it hasn't popped up, and I've no idea. And I think it's because I've not added it. We set this this show up, and I needed to change the cameras to be a bit wider to fit both myself and yours. Not that you made that big a difference, to be honest.
Massive.
But so we're missing some stuff. But if somebody else saw that, then that's great. And if not, I'll find out soon. What else have we got? Angel things, land marines, whatever.
Have you noticed that it's the shows that I'm involved in that tend to just be a little bit more spontaneous, shall we say?
It says, hello everyone. So hello for joining us. Yes, spontaneous is one word. We could use. It was a French guy that won the GW Slayer Sword Award with that troll with the hammer. Yes, it was, and it was absolutely beautiful. And he kind of had that it wasn't overly blended. In many respects, it was kind of a similar painting style to what Sam does, where there was like more defined lines on the highlights.
Cool.
Really, really nice, beautiful.
I'm glad we've got a picture of it.
So there you go. Oh, shut up! I'll get a picture up in a minute. We're not meant to fight on screen. Right, so
missed you, Phil.
What have we got going tonight?
We've
got some stuff. We've got some Seraphons we need to look at. So let's see if we can cut through this. We've got Seraphons we're going to be going through and having to think about this. We've got to get that right. And I think we've also got the War Scroll builder up. We're going to have a go at working on the 1,000 points. But best laid plans of Seraphon and men, because we'll see whether we get any of that done, to be honest. It was £10 for the tournament drink fund. Thank you very much, old boys. You're an angel.
Thank you. I
And
will use that on
Coleman's-
the first night.
You've probably already used it now, just arriving here. I love
That's not
Hansa's
true, Phil.
comment.
I just
That's
drink
not
all
true,
your
actually.
booze.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fine thing. So let's go through the tournament. Let's at least give some background to it.
Okay, yeah.
There's
Who's
quite
going?
a
Let's
few
do who's
teams.
going, yeah.
There's a
There is a
huge
lot.
amount of
Let's-
teams
yeah.
going. So
stay on
this
track,
is
Phil.
the
Stay focused.
doubles tournament.
You've got this.
Last weekend of June, 29th to the 30th. Oh no, our internet's gone down. We're just off air. 29th to the 30th, so it's the last weekend in June. Jack finishes his exams. This is an important bit. Jack finishes his A-levels 10 days before that. So
He's got
available
plenty of
do
time
the
to paint
tournament.
my army.
I'm going. My partner is Jack.
Yep.
I am taking. Originally, it was going to be Iden of Deepkin and Daughters. The reality is, because I've started a new job, I've just had no real time to do any painting. So it looks like I'm going to be falling back on my Fire Slayers for this tournament.
They were good in the last one, though.
Yeah, and they've got a new battle tome, and they're doing well. They're not necessarily doing well in the 1,000 points. They've gone more elite now. So I would literally be showing up with 20 guys, but they're quite elite, quite powerful, but certainly not the big numbers that you used to be able to do. So I'm a little bit, will they work at 1,000 points? Plus, then that's thrown Jack into disarray over what army to take. So he doesn't know whether to go free peoples. That's one of his solutions, because as you saw from all the little handgunners all over the table, that's what that is. He can get his daughters done. We talked about possibly going Fire Slayers and Fire Slayers, because it's actually the easiest route, because Jack's army was all based around pairing up with my Ideneth, and it doesn't really work with Fire Slayers. So we're like, So there's a bit of an issue there. So the truth is, my team is in disarray. But we've also got Steve.
You can't even blame it on me this time.
No. Although I've still got some Seraphon to paint as well. We've got Steve and we've got Liam, who are taking Legions of Nagash. So,
Both of them?
undead nonsense. No, Liam is taking the Slaneshi Beastmen. So this
of course
is
he is.
Beastmen
Yeah.
plus Slaneshi nastiness. So all sorts of nonsense, like a 40-man unit that can do 140 attacks in the first turn because it can move 17 inches and all that kind of nonsense.
That is ridiculous.
So
gonna be
nice
fun.
one. That'll
Can't
be great
wait.
fun to play against. Of course, we have Pink and yourself.
We do.
You're taking.
Seraphon.
You know the name of your army.
It's been so long.
You're taking Seraphon.
Yes.
Pink is. I'm pretty
Honestly,
certain.
my mind's just I know my
know.
stuff.
It's
It's
all
just
right.
it's been a long day, Phil.
Oh man, you do. Oh, right. And Pink. I'm pretty certain Pink's still taking Stormcast. He's not changed, has he?
Well,
Or was there something else in there?
it's just the last time I spoke to him, he was telling me all about these corn people who could do
Ooh.
really cool stuff.
So he might
I
be doing
don't
Blades
know.
of Corn then, because that's his other army. He does indeed have a Blades of Corn army.
Okay, so I've actually got it right for once.
Yeah, well, you said corn.
Yeah.
But yeah. You
So
probably
anyway,
meant corn on the cob.
yeah, he was actually talking about what was for dinner. So I think there was a couple of things where he was like, actually, these could be pretty cool. So it'll be one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah, I think originally the plan was
Right.
Stormcast.
Okay, so what does that leave? That leaves Sam and Luke.
Yep.
No relation to me, but the same surname.
Yep.
And Sam and Luke are doing one of two things. They're taking either a double Ideneth list.
Oh.
And I haven't spoke to Sam for a while, but the last time I saw him, he was posting up his Caradon Overlords, but his human Skyfleet Caradon Overlords conversions.
Cool.
Which he showed me a painting of just one of the dudes, and the face on it was insanely amazing.
Of course it was.
So it might be Ideneth and Caradron. So
That could
we'll
be
see.
cool.
But I haven't spoke to him for a couple of days, so I'm just guessing that, seeing as though there's been some different photos appearing on the group chat we
You'd
have.
think if he was
maybe moving.
preparing for a tournament, then he probably would paint what is.
Yeah, you'd
Gonna play
think.
with.
So we'll know, maybe.
See.
Excuse me. We also have... who else is going?
Is
This-
Amit going?
No, Amit's not going, I don't think. But there
Feels
is...
like there is another
Mark
Toby.
Potter. Toby and Potter.
Yes. That was
Toby
it.
and Potter. If that's not the name for a detective agency, then what is?
Oh God, can you imagine those pair though?
Toby and Potter investigates. Of
Be awful.
which
They might find some beer. That'd be about as far as they'd get.
well, you know, I think Potter would find a few dice with just number ones on.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm assuming Potter's gone Blades of Corn. I've not spoke to him, and I've no idea what Toby's taken.
No, I don't.
I'm half expecting Toby to show up on the first day, but then disappear around about lunchtime. So, but I don't know what he plays, so we'll find out.
Oh, was
Wait.
he the gross things? The green.
Nurgle.
Yes.
So he's Nurgle.
Possibly.
Nurgle and Corn.
I'm
That'd
sure
be
he used to have
interesting.
Nurgle. I don't know whether he's still
Oh,
got
okay.
them, but...
All right. Wait. I think they're both taking Gloomspite.
Oh, okay.
Somebody told me the other day, so I think that's
Hey,
a
so
double
between us, we've
Gloomspite
figured
list.
it out.
So there you
According to
go.
us.
So that's
so informed.
I've lost count of how many teams that is, but that's quite a few teams. So
It is,
there's
yeah.
going to be a
It's gonna
whole
be a big-
tranche of us.
yeah.
The chances of us playing against each other are quite high at that.
I think so, yeah, because even when we went last time, there weren't as many teams. Most of us did still play at least one of their team.
Yeah. I don't want to play against Liam.
Not anymore,
it's
no.
Liam,
The
she
first,
beats me.
no. The last time I played against Liam, it was great, but this time,
Yeah,
no.
no. So we'll see. You know what? Should we just call this a day? Are we going to go? We're just going to be in the bar, let's face it.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. Let's start
We'll have to
working
take
on...
it in turns, because last time, obviously, we were partners. But this time, we might have to coordinate a bit better. Like,
Yeah.
Phil, I'll get the drinks this time.
Oh, yeah, because we had it really organised,
We did,
didn't
we were
last
really-
time?
yeah, we
we
were
had the
properly
bar
on it,
breaks,
yeah.
very well organised.
Yeah.
Right, let's catch up with the chat, and then let's have a move on to what we got. You may need to explain to Rachel what a battle tome is. Yeah, we'll come to that later in the
I'm
show.
all over that. I know what battle tomes are.
We hear the jury's out on whether it's a good thing. I've no idea what that is. And Rich Morton says, hi guys. Hey Rich, how you doing? Right, where are we at then? Well, should we start by... oh man, what should we start with? Should we start having to think about this list? Because
Yeah,
you have
'cause-
given some thought to your list. And I know that there's a few Seraphon players in the chat. So it'd be good to hear from those guys.
Yeah.
So let's go
And I mean,
over
we
to...
structured this chat, didn't we, so that we would build a list.
Yeah.
we
This is
planned it.
exactly on time. What time is it? Oh,
Thanks.
goodness.
Yeah, we've done
Right,
well.
here we go
Done well.
then. So here we are. We are over to the General's Handbook 2018. We are in order. We are in Seraphon. Now, the whole point around your army is it's good at raising stuff.
Yeah,
so you have to think
summon,
about
can
what's in it,
transport.
what's not in it.
Yeah.
So what were you going from a leader point of view?
So I definitely wanted some engine of the... Oh, well, I wanted an engine of the god in there.
But who's going to be your...
My main guy.
Your main guy, that's going to be...
Slan Star Master, I think. Something like that.
So somewhere in here is a Slan Star Master.
Hey.
So that's going to be your top boss.
Yeah.
You are definitely going for
I reckon it's
Engine of the
an
Gods.
engine, yeah.
Crikey. And we have got... What else have we got going off?
I think I was going to take some Ripidactyls. They're pretty nails.
And the idea around the Ripidactyls was to be able to get the toad down
Yes.
during deployment, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because if you reserve those,
You don't get the toad.
you don't get the toad, or at least we don't think
don't
so.
think we
And
do.
again, please, Seraphon players.
Let us know my rules.
Okay, and then...
How many points we got left?
How many points we got left? We are up to 620 points already.
So 380, and I still need some units in there.
Well, we are at the moment. Of course, you need to get your battle line in, of which you have no battle line at all.
Oh, can I have an Astrolith
Oh,
bearer?
okay, so that's going to be in the leaders, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
So you've got to have that Astrolith
And
bearer.
then how
And
many points does that leave me for a battle line?
780 points. So you have
Oh,
got
I'm getting close
220.
then.
So, well,
Well, they
Skinks
can
are
do
your super
100,
cheap
yeah.
option, aren't they?
Yeah.
But what's your thought on that? You could actually
So
get...
actually, if I did 2 lots of skinks, how many points does that then leave me?
If you did 2 lots of 20 skinks, you are exact... Oh, no, you go over. So, sorry, I'll take that back. So 2 lots of 10 skinks are going to give you your battle line. That still gives you 100 points.
I've got 100 points left.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. What can I get for 100 points?
Well, endless spells we could go to. But are you not really going to be casting?
Oh, yeah, because I'm just going to summon everything. Although, my engine will be summoning stuff. So what if I wanted my Slan to do stuff? Well, I'm sure there was something decent I could get for 100 points. But I can't remember what it was.
Right, let's
Is
go
it,
back up. Well, let's go for units and see what there's in there. So we've got Saurus Warriors coming in at 100 points. We've got pretty much nothing. You've got Chameleons at 120, so, and I know that you could kind of jiggle those around a bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're a battle line.
Well, they're not a battle line, are they? So
is it bang on 100?
we've got bang on 100.
Right.
So you could do a Skink Star Priest. It's not really fitting in there, is it?
I can't remember what list I went with.
Oh,
before.
Scar Veteran on Cold One.
Ah, that might have been it.
He's not bad.
Yeah,
He's got
I think that
some
might have been what I
interesting
did
stuff.
actually, because I think he's painted and he's there, and that might be.
Okay, well that takes us to 1,000 points
So what do people
for
think of that,
Slan
then?
Star Master, Engine of Guard, Saurus Astrolith Bearer. Let's just talk about those as we go down the list then, about what we think they do for you, because although you're claiming you don't know anything about this army, I think you're
I know
actually
about
quite
this army.
well informed, don't you?
Yes, I know about this army.
So, right.
And
Hold on a
it's
second.
starting to come back. I was a bit rusty. It's been a few months,
Yeah.
but it's coming back to me.
Hold on a minute. Right. There we go. We're here.
Okay.
So, let's catch up with the chat, see if we've had any amazing suggestions.
Yeah.
Dave White says, hi everyone. Did everyone who wanted one manage to get their Loon Curse? I'm not going to talk about Loon Curse. They like allocated one box per country, I think. It was just gone in seconds.
So nobody managed to
And
get
I
it.
went to Warhammer Fest and I was thinking, they'll have it. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Probably the reason is there was so few is because they've saved like crates and crates of them for Warhammer Fest.
Yeah, you'd expect.
Four
No.
copies.
No.
Yeah, they were gone in seconds. He said they were the first thing that went. People just ran in.
Why are
bought
there
them,
so
gone.
few?
I don't know. I'm gutted.
That's so bizarre.
Alt Boy says, I got mine, but it's a sore point for Phil. Really? How'd you get that impression? Dread Saurian, 2 sets of 10 skinks, Lord Croak. This is a great idea. I felt like we've seen that list before.
Yeah.
You don't get the toad until your phase. Okay, so it goes down in your phase, yeah?
Yes.
But it is in the hero phase,
Oh.
I think. Is it? Or is it the start of the battle? Can't remember.
I thought it was the start of
Why
the
don't
battle.
we can check that as well. I thought it was the start of the battle.
Because I thought
actually,
that's
that
why
went
you
down.
can't just summon them. Because if it's in
Yeah.
the next phase, then you would get an extra.
Because you've got to have the
toad.
unit. Yeah, it's a good point. We're going to need to check that. Sorry to hear he was unlucky. I managed to get one here in Canada, building my Loon Boss on Giant Squig. Well, that's good for you, David. Frank Storm says hello, Liam. Liam Badley's in there.
Oh, Liam's here.
Grey Shaman, 100 points. There you go. I split the bow. I only wanted the gobos. Oh, nice. Oh, why are you even telling me that? I just wanted the Sylvaneth. Squiggle away. Patrick says, Slan as General and Astrolith Bearer, so you generate points to summon.
Yes. Okay, so we've got those. That's good.
Higher late for the early show, says Ralph. Yeah, sorry about that. Rachel's got stuff to do tonight, so we've got to finish at 8. Wait, when did we start? 8:30.
8:30. So we said.
We
about
need to
9:30,
finish
yeah.
dead on 9:30 because you've got to get going, haven't you? So.
Yeah. Well, thereabouts.
And none of us. I'm not going to say. Not going to say about
No,
the,
we're not
because
saying
that
about
might
that.
trigger.
No, yeah.
We'll see. And what else have we got? Patrick's coming in. And the Skink Star Priest and the Endless Spells Balewind Vortex and the Chronomatic
I did
Cogs.
think about the vortex actually.
All right, Patrick,
So
you've seen that with Stormcast you should be safe to summon stuff away.
In fact, I wonder if the vortex did go in one of the lists I did previously.
So let's get the Vortex
Okay.
on there.
And let's get rid of the
because that's 40
cold
points.
one.
And he's also recommending the Chronomatic Cogs. Now,
Oh,
there's
it
a
definitely
reason.
didn't have
There's a
those.
reason for that. Well, we could drop the Scar Veteran on
Yeah.
Cold One, and you are back to 1,000 points on the job. So let's just check that works with him. Oh, a Skink Star Priest though. So
Yeah, the Star Priest sounds vaguely familiar. What does that do again?
well, for starters, I think the Skink Star Priest is going to be able to summon. Cast spells. I think, which is why you're bringing the spells. Because you don't want your Slan casting, do you? Because you want him to build up summon points.
Yeah.
So with the list we've got you'd have to sacrifice one of the Slan's casting abilities to make it work.
I think
Otherwise,
the Skink Star Priest does have some decent spells as well.
I'm wondering whether those endless spells can be used by your opponent. I'm not
So
quite
the
sure about that.
Vortex, I think you should be okay.
Well, the
with.
vortex you're using, because you're going to be sitting your Slan
Slan
Star
on.
Master, I would assume, on that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Or would you put the skink on it?
you
if
would
you've got
put
a
the skink on it, wouldn't it? Is the skink... The skink...
I can't remember what spells he has.
I'm going to put him back in a second because I think he's quite... The skink Star Priest?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was it Star Master? Oh, Star Priest is 80 points. So we're 80 points over at this. So you
I'm
are
not sure
going
what the
to have
cogs do though, because I don't remember bothering with the cogs.
Chronometric cogs would only take us down 60 points, and we are 80 points over. There's something about the chronometric cogs. What they do is, I think they can they slow down your opponent approaching. I think.
Okay.
They either half charges or half movements or something like that.
Okay, so that could be quite
I
useful.
may need to find out. Unfortunately, I'm using my iPad so we could actually see what we were looking at. So
that's handy, yeah.
that's not really where we can look
not-
at the
no.
books. But maybe Patrick can help us out with the reasoning behind some of this.
Yeah.
It's more or less to summon stuff. There you go, he says. But I think that's what we know what the Star Priest would do. But at that, we're kind of running out of space for your Ripidactyls.
Now I need to keep the Ripidactyls. They're amazing. They can take down
the
anything.
spells give you extra spells to cast.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, so can you, if you get extra spells to cast, can you then use them as summon points, if that makes sense?
Good point.
Is that basically
And
giving
I
you
bet
an
that's
extra
what Patrick's
6?
up to, because Patrick is cunning and wise in the way of Seraphon. So he'll
Yeah, so
be
I'm wondering
racking
if
up
we've
your
got
summon points for you.
Because that would be an extra 6 summon points. If it's 2 extra spells, that's 6 summon points.
Does
In
the
fact-
Bellwind Vortex add 1 to the spells? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I can't remember. I thought it increased the range. And,
Right,
like,
I tell you
protected
what
it
did
like
I
that.
do with my phone? I don't know, I lost my phone. Oh no, I tell you what, we can do this, look. Ah, I could actually get this up and we
Okay.
can work it out from there, so
Cool.
let's try this. Because we can actually get some of the stats up for this as well. So... Ooh. Right, you keep chatting, Rachel. You can't read the...
I can't read the
Chat,
chat.
can you?
No.
Right, okay, they said openly you don't expect demand much. They said openly they didn't expect the demand for Loon Curse. Ah, okay. Well, they got that one wrong. Jude says the cogs, if you slow down the wizard's manipulating, it gets an extra spell. If you speed it up, you add 2 to movements and charge. So you give yourself an extra spell by doing that, which gives you an extra summon point.
Well, it's 3 extra summon points.
What the hey? Did the steam start half an hour earlier, or someone been messing around with my clock? I'm afraid we've covered this a little bit, but
My
Rachel's
bad.
short on time tonight, so we started half an hour early. It was either start half an hour early and give you a whole hour of the show,
Yeah.
or just 30 minutes. So we opted for that. So apologies, and I know I was late warning everybody about it as well because, well, we were eating rice.
Well, we were. And it was delicious.
Liam says those Ripidactyls are nonsense, and +1 additional spell for wizards in the hero phase. There you go. So that's giving you the extra summon points then.
Cool. So I suppose then, because the Slan's got 3 spells, if we're giving ourselves an extra 2 spells, then you've got 5 spells at 3 points each. So that's 15 summon points, plus D3 from your Astrolith Bearer. So you've got up to 18 summon points. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, but what we haven't done is worked out how we can
In
fit
fact,
that in your list.
I think you get an extra 1 as well for having a Slan. Something like that. Well,
Right.
I'll just I'll just be a few points over. It'll be fine. They won't mind.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's casual
none of your
gaming, isn't
opponents
it?
are going to be
Yeah.
concerned about that? Then is that what you're
No,
saying?
it's casual.
Well, you're right. It's just a casual game, and people just need to chill out.
They do,
really, don't they?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
2
It's only a
seconds.
few points over anyway.
I'm getting.
What's
you know
80 points between
all I'm
friends?
doing, look, is I'm trying to open up your book to tell you about your
My
army.
rules.
All right, just give me a second, okay?
I hope Pink's ready to do this at the tournament.
Seraphon, there we go. It's
So
gonna
at the
take a
last
minute to
tournament,
download.
when it was me and Phil, the night before, me and Phil sat up doing my list. Wait,
So-
were we doing my list? We were doing something like that, weren't we?
we did a list and we did a cheat sheet for
That
you
was
to
it, we were
remind
doing
you
the
when to do
cheat sheet,
stuff,
yeah.
which was really useful for me to use later. I made 2 copies.
Is there a reason that you didn't want to go with me for this tournament and you chose Jack? Because
No, none that I can think of. But remember that the cogs will cost one of those spells, so you've got to. So the first turn you can, and then of course if it gets dispelled, but if it gets dispelled, wait, they can't dispel it for a turn. Yeah.
And they're using a spell then to dispel
so
it.
minus 3 points.
But then you're chucking what, 20 points?
And that's a good point. Yeah.
But then can they do it?
If your Slan is your general, which it is when you want to summon, then you get another 1 summoning point. That's true. And you also get another point.
Hey, so I remember that one. That's good.
Yeah, let's talk about where you get your summoning points from, because there's quite a few options, if I remember rightly, isn't there? You have...
Yeah, there's your Astrolith Bearer, there's spells, and there's having a Slan as a general. But I think that's it. And then obviously, like with this, you can try and give yourself more spells.
Yeah. So, the Astrolith Bearer, that was it. That's what gives you D3. More as well. So where are we at? I don't feel like we're getting anywhere at the moment, but you can get someone else to cast the cogs on your behalf for the Slan. It's a good point. Depends what Pink's taking.
That's true.
If he could put the cogs in the list, then that makes sense.
And
then Patrick says that's why you pick a skink star priest to cast the cogs. There you go. So it's all getting described now. But as I say, we are now 80 points over, which means really I think your big pressure point is the Engine of the Gods.
No, because that allows me to summon stuff as well. If I roll a certain way, I can summon more stuff.
But can you summon an Engine of the Gods?
I think so. What an interesting turn of events.
Because it's a high
But
point.
he's a lot. He costs a lot.
It costs a lot to summon.
But if I'm cracking out, 15 summon points potentially in my first turn?
Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to go back to our army list, and we're going to... There's a few people out there clearly with Seraphon knowledge, so we're going to throw it back out to the list. And as soon as I can click on it...
I'm not getting rid of the Ripidactyls, by the way.
You don't want to get rid of the Ripidactyls?
No, because I don't think that you can get the Toad unless you have them at the start. Otherwise,
I don't think so either. We'll come back to that at the moment. So at the moment, bear in mind that we are 80 points over, folks. We're 1,080 points against 1,000. We have the Slan Star Master. Mm-hmm. We have the Engine of the Gods, the Saurus Astrolith Bearer, and the Skink Star Priest. Now, the Bearer's in there to give you additional summoning points. But he also does a bunch of other cool stuff, doesn't he?
But could I summon him, potentially? Because I don't think he's as expensive to summon. But I would lose my D3.
Yeah.
And he does do other cool stuff.
So, there's some chat going off as well. Yeah, doesn't the cogs only affect the wizard that casts it? No, the wizard that is closest to it. So you cast it, place it close to your Slan Star Master.
Yeah.
Bish, bash, bosh. Extra summoning points.
Woo.
3 extra summoning points.
Yeah.
Because it gives you one extra spell and you get 3 points, don't you? We've got the Ripidactyls, we've got 2 units of skinks, so it's like a filthy absentee battle line, but that's okay. That's what happens with this. You'll be summoning all sorts of fun to the table.
Well, you take Seraphon, so your battle line's only 60 points each.
That's true. So Engines of the God is strangely enough cheaper to summon than a Stegodon. You get to summon an Engine of the Gods for only 18 summoning points. Says 7 Lexu.
And I could potentially get almost 18 in my first turn. Yeah, because if I've got 5... I know, so I won't have 5 spells in the first turn because I'll have just cast. So I'd have an Engine of the Gods in the second turn. But it won't be able to do anything, so I won't be able to use them until the third turn. In a tournament, you don't always get to
Game's almost over by turn 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Engine should be 220 points here, but it only 18... The engine should be 220 points. Yeah, we got 220 points. Engine should be 220 points, but only 18 summon points.
Oh, they're saying that actually it's better value in comparison to how many points you pay.
Okay.
Because I've worked that out before. I made a little sheet of course I did, of which, if you've got, say, 15 points, what's best to summon from a cost perspective. Yeah. And then if you've got 18 and 12 and whatever...
I'm just flipping through the General's Handbook now, because if I remember rightly, summoning was added into the General's Handbook, wasn't it? It wasn't...
Yeah, it'll be in the main rules.
Yeah, it's after the pitch battle profiles. It could be wrong at this, but,
Yeah, because ideally I'm looking to try and summon something within the first... second turn, basically.
New summoning
first
rules.
turn.
Here we go. So let's see what we can get on this, because that will give us some idea. What? Seraphon.
There we go.
So you wanted to know what can you can summon 20 skinks, 10 Saurus Raptors, 3 Ripidar.
Oh, how many? Oh no, I can't do the protectors. We've been over that. That's a shame. Otherwise, that would have been an easy one to take out.
Hold on a second. Is that right?
Right.
Because how does you can't summon?
What?
That makes no sense. This is out of date. This is the digital version. So is it really out of date? This is General's Handbook 2018. Oh, Engine of the Gods. Engine of the Gods War Scroll. I've got this. You can summon 20 skinks, 10 Saurus Warriors.
Oh
3
yeah,
Ripidar,
if you roll on the Engine of the Gods.
Oh, sorry. Is that one?
Although it should be in the General's Handbook, I would have thought.
Where's the list where you can summon from now then? Have I got this wrong?
It doesn't look like that.
That doesn't look like the new list, does it? Oh, was it FAQ'd?
I don't think so. I thought it was in the main thing.
Come on, somebody help us out. Okay.
What should we get rid of, I guess, is the question.
By the time of the tunnel, you might have a new Seraphon battle tome. Just saying. These days, you never know.
True.
Yeah, I know,
There is
but
a
you
bit of
know, I think unlikely. We're not that many weeks off now,
No,
and
we're
we
not,
know
to
there's
be
some
fair.
big stuff around the corner. So
think we'd
and
have they normally
Sylvaneth
hint
were
at stuff
delayed.
as well, don't they?
Yeah, you'd normally see something probably this far out now between.
They'd
now.
show you like a bit of a lizard scale.
We already
or something
know.
like that.
We already know General's Handbook is going to be in June, so that may have an impact.
Surely they wouldn't.
Well,
do
that's
that.
what they were. I'm pretty certain that's what they said at Warhammer Fest. I've only got the June from other people, but I'm pretty certain
fact-
they said at Warhammer Fest that General's Handbook is June.
Did they do something like this last year? Because didn't
Yes.
we get
Oh,
a
we got a
release?
whole new version, more or less, didn't we?
Yeah,
Just before
just
the tournament.
before.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
the list is in the handbook, not in the FAQ. Yeah, I'm in the handbook, but maybe my digital version is out of date because I'm utterly
Oh,
confused.
that looks familiar.
Yeah, that's Zeech though. Look.
Oh. Yeah, but that's the sort of table that it is. It was.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a little bit confused.
How bizarre.
And that's generally that is the General's Handbook 2018. So I'm having a bit of a moment, but well, what can we do? I don't think there's anything I can do about that moment. We're just gonna have to soldier through it. That is out of date. That is completely out of date, isn't it?
Possibly.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're going to move on from there anyway. General's Handbook, page 113, according to Lexi. Yeah, so I think my... I think my General's Handbook must be out of date.
Although, no, because now we're getting on to Seraphon.
Yeah, but that's just your... Oh,
that's it.
come on. Thank you. Looking at the wrong thing altogether. So that was just the... changes to the magic, wasn't it? That's what it was saying.
Yeah.
So right, okay, Bastiladon.
Out of the stuff in my list, then, what could come out and be summoned in the first turn?
So can you summon, for instance,
How much is
the
an
Saurus
Astral?
Eternity Warden is 12 points. Oh wait, no,
Astrolith
it's the
Bearer.
Astrolith Bearer is 18.
Oh,
Ouch.
That is nasty.
Ouch.
Engine of the Gods, 18, didn't we say? Yeah.
Crikey.
Oh,
It's
dear.
okay saying watch the chat, Ralph, but the chat's 28 seconds behind, or 40 seconds behind what we're saying. So I know people were probably screaming at us saying this is where it is, but
Yeah.
it takes about 40 seconds for us to actually see the screams. Right, okay then. So we've got an Astrolith Bearer, 18 points. Kind of breaks that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I'd be struggling there.
You're going to have to lose the Ripidactyls, you know this, don't you?
No,
And
don't do
summon
that.
them. Can't you just summon them?
It depends on the toad. It depends on the rules for the toad. I need a toad, Phil.
You want the toad,
I do
don't
want
you?
the
So,
toad. Well,
right.
they're useless. Well, they're not useless without a toad, but they're
I'll tell you
nowhere
what.
near as good.
Seraphon players then, what's your opinion on when the toad can be deployed and how it works? Because from what I understand, with that particular unit, it's only if it's in your army, and summon units don't constitute as being in your army, do they? That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking this isn't going to fly.
Well, I
How
thought
much difference does the toad make? It makes quite
It's
a
a
difference.
big difference. Yeah, I think it's like D3 instead of 1.
And you really like your Ripidactyls, don't you?
I do. Well, the thing is, you can chuck them into the biggest, nastiest unit there is, and they're not going to make it out alive, but they're going to absolutely shred it.
You know what? Just do the math on how many summoning points you're going to get in turn 1 without the Skink Star Priest. You know, and without the cogs.
Well, is it the Star Priest that's costing us too much? Because I didn't think we had the Star Priest in at the minute, or do we? Because just go with the Star Priest.
I have added the Star Priest here.
Okay, and how much does he cost?
Hold on a second. I'll tell you what, we've been on pretty much nothing for a while, so let's go back to that. Sorry, guys. Right, okay then. So we've got the Star Priest is 80 points.
So actually, if we got rid of the Star Priest, we'd be bang on.
Oh yeah. With that, we were back down to our 1,000 point list.
And I think the Star Priest only has 1 spell anyway.
But you're not going to use the cogs, are you?
Well, you could, because your Slan could do it. And you just invest. Okay. So you lose 1 spell at the start, but then for the rest of all your other turns, you've got an extra spell potentially.
Can you bring on like a Slam Priest?
You probably could. Yeah, you could probably summon it. How much is
obviously,
or even a Star Master, whichever one is.
Skink Priest is 12 points. I am not seeing any of the Skink Star Seer.
Well, anything that could cast spells potentially. Are they both 12 points?
The Skink Priest is 12 points. Can the Skink Priest cast spells?
I think so.
Okay.
And if it can, then you just summon that on in the first turn.
Could be a way to go.
Could be.
Right. I'm just having a quick look. So, I think we've pretty much got in the chat everybody telling us you can't set up the toad if they're not summoned. Or if they are summoned, sorry.
So they're staying.
Only before battle, not for summoned one. So that's all sorted. DJ the Lucky One saying hi all. It's in your first hero phase, I think. Rachel, you should run a gun line. Says Sean Blake. Really useful advice. Halfway through there, mate. Where are we now? Toad Rage becomes
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It was at the start of the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Place in your hero phase, in your first hero phase, place a bloat toad. So absolutely right. The comments earlier was this is in your phase.
Yeah. So they need
and
to
you
be at
want
the
your
start.
bloat toad, don't you? And you want your Ripidactyls. Yeah. Plus you've bought another box of Ripidactyls.
I have. Because I'm going to summon another lot of them. Hey! Now Phil just needs to build and paint them. Hey! But yeah, because I'm going to summon another set. But I will already have a toad, and presumably that toad can be used for like both units, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
You place your bloat toad in your first hero phase for each Ripper unit you have, so naught since you summon your Rippers at the end of movement. There you go, you see. So Lexu is absolutely on it and knows his Seraphon. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight. This is really useful.
Helpful.
I think we know what you're going to do. I think you're going to go for less summon points and more fun, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Because I mean, I get what Patrick's doing. He's massively optimizing the summon ability, which is
Patrick does.
Pretty cool. But it does mean doubles games can move pretty quick. And in the first couple of turns, you can be in a lot of trouble.
We very rarely made it to turn 5, didn't we?
We didn't, no. No, we struggled to get past.
I'm hoping things will be a bit better with Pink.
In most games. So.
Or maybe you and Jack will be great and I might drag Pink down.
The whole point of doing this now is we're going to do some practice games. So if you're up for this as well...
Yeah, we said that months ago.
We'll set up on a 4x4 table, 1,000 points either side, and we'll do it live, and we'll get these Seraphon dudes on the chat advising you what to do
that could work.
and how to play it.
So this is one of my biggest problems, and it's the same when I'm playing things like Magic the Gathering as well. I might have the biggest, baddest list that anyone could ever come up with, or like the best deck ever, but then I just make loads of stupid mistakes actually in game.
Yeah, and forget, I actually think a lot of what... You in one of your lists, you created an over-reliance on kind of bubbles, and
I
it
remember
made
that
your
one.
army almost immovable.
Yeah.
They kind of just hanged around in a big blob together, and you found it
Yeah, I
really...
wanted to see if you...
You couldn't do anything tactically.
Yes, because that was the time when I was trying to see if you could make a Death Star with Sigmar, because it was new, wasn't it? It was when Sigmar hadn't been out that long.
But that's how you like playing anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just admit that now and get that out of the way.
I do like building filthy lists.
You do like building... Are you going to be able to summon this guy then?
No.
Because I really like this guy. Can we not...
The thing is, me and Jack made a list, and I couldn't remember if we put him in or not. I really can't remember what the list was that me and Jack made. It might not have been far off this, to be honest.
I think, Jack... The one thing Jack remembered was minimum skinks. He just went, you're going minimum skinks because you've got no room for battle line.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So what have we got? We've got the skink. We've got the Slan Starmaster.
Whee!
There he is, all nice and painted. So he's good to go. We've got 3 Ripidactyls, but we know we're going to need to paint 3 more because you can't just be summoning stuff as and when they've died.
Yeah. Which they will.
Right.
Which one's the engine?
Yeah, which one is the engine? Is this the engine of the gods?
Oh, yeah, that is the engine.
I know he's missing
He's
his
awesome.
front bit, but we can fix that. So that's the engine of the gods.
We,
Rachel, yes. The royal we. So that's the engine of the gods. And then we know you've got 20 skinks.
Yeah.
So that's good. And you've got an Astrolith bearer. It's a proxy Astrolith bearer, but nobody complained last time. We kind of made a funky one.
That's because there were real tears when someone did try and complain.
That was what you cried. You pulled down the waterworks during the tournament. That's disgraceful.
I didn't really. I'm joking, by the way.
That's utterly disgraceful. So, besides the skinks, I don't know whether this is going to work now. Besides the skinks, though, we've basically got. We've got. This is your army, look. That's huge. That and 20 skinks is what you're showing up with. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be on a vortex. Oh, that means you need to build more vortex.
Oh, he's going to be on the vortex, of course, yeah.
You've got so much building to do, Phil.
So I do need to get the vortex done. Well, the vortex is built, but I want to do like a custom modification to it.
Oh, yeah, it was really cool.
So we'll get that done.
Yeah.
That won't take me too long.
Cool.
And I might do that as a live show where I'm just hacking stuff together for fun.
I could even come and keep you company.
Why not?
Since it's for my vortex.
So we're going to do like a road to the tournament. A set of shows. Possibly one more.
Is that to reflect the amount of prep that's gone into this?
I kind of feel like, you need to engage with the preparation.
Yeah.
We also need to decide then, realistically, what units you want available to summon. Because we know you've got these guys.
Oh, yeah, because I did want to summon a Bastillodon.
So we've got Bastillodons, which are cute. They're beautiful. That's the snaky one.
I think I'm using the non-snaky
Which one's this one?
This is the shooty one. And he's
the shooty one. So we've got the shooty one as well.
Yeah, the shooty one.
And that's all painted and ready to go. So that's good. Mm-hmm. But what does that leave us then? What else would you most likely summon? Because after that, we are running out of stuff that we need stuff basing. So let's go through the list. Maybe about what you can summon.
So as much as I've kind of said, I've got loads of stuff, loads of summoning points, I don't think, things are going to be dying and stuff.
Yep.
So an extra team of Ripidactyls, a Bastillodon, potentially if the engine of the god dies, you're going to have to resummon that. Maybe some warriors if we've got, because I think the engine can summon certain things.
Let's go through some of the bottom of the list then. We've got Pterodon Riders, 12 points.
Yeah.
But you want Ripidactyls, which are 12 points, so that makes sense.
So this is one of the ones where I'd highlighted it and gone, well, Ripidactyls are better than Pterodon Riders from a cost perspective, but the summoning points is the same.
Yeah.
It was a nice nerdy little sheet that I came up with. It was quite good.
Okay.
I've probably still got it somewhere.
You've got Saurus Guard, Saurus Knights, and Saurus Scar Veteran on Cold One at 12 points.
Oh.
I think is quite a bargain, isn't it?
That's quite a good one.
Because is that this fellow? No, that's not, is it? That's the little guy, but that's not him.
No.
He's over there, look.
He's the
there
one with
he
the
is.
many
yeah,
tails.
yeah, the twin-tailed one, yeah.
That's it.
So there you go. Not that he was meant to have twin tails, but he was converted. So there you go, Little lizardy
He's
dude
cute.
there. So he's
I took him to the
he's
last
got
tournament
some
as well.
funny yeah, but that was because we were absolutely stuck for something on the list. But he's got some funky
Well, that's not
stuff
that we put
going
into
on.
it. We did the same thing last year where we were like months in advance. We're so prepared for this. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna do so many
Yeah, and then we
practice
met
games
each other the day before the tournament.
and started to write a list. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not go there because we're not going to do it this year. We're going to be sorted. So Estegadon 24 points. Engine of the Gods is 18 points. Croxigores, I don't think you've got any of those. So
they're good.
Really, we're talking about.
Why don't I just take what I've actually got painted and then on the day I'll just summon whatever I've got
So
left.
5 Saurus Guard. You've definitely got Saurus Guard
yeah.
painted.
See, that's the thing. I can just summon some Saurus Guard
So,
if it comes to it.
do you want? So, are you ever going to be summoning Saurus Warriors? Because we've got some interesting stuff going off in the chat. Which, as Lexu says, skinks are the way to go for objective games, as you need more models than your opponent usually to cap the objective. And if Pink is going elite, he's not going to have an eye model count.
So I might want to summon more. Well, to be fair, if I lose a unit of skinks, then I just resummon them. Or I could summon chameleon skinks and just keep popping them up all over the place. Can I summon chameleon skinks? Oh no, I don't have real chameleon skinks. That's the problem.
Chameleon skinks will be 12 points. They're quite expensive.
They are quite expensive.
Compared to 10 skinks at 6 points. Can you summon more than one unit in a turn?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to summon like
2
4
units.
sets of skinks for like 24 points.
That's ridiculous.
So you got like 40 skinks just appearing. Costs. Skinks wouldn't be that terrible to paint. And the reason I say that is at the latest Warhammer Fest,
everyone nailed skinks, didn't they?
no, you're getting confused with the tournament. I'm talking about the Fest session I was at this weekend.
Okay.
They previewed their new paints, and they're
You just wanna
called
try the new
something
paints, don't
paints. No, I've already tried them.
Oh.
There was a table, you could sit and you could paint.
Oh.
It was good fun. What's really clever about these paints is they're really good at some of the colours that are traditionally quite difficult. One of them is yellow, and one of the things they demonstrated was a unit of 10 skinks. And basically you spray them white, you paint this paint on top, it kind of runs into the recesses and highly pigments, and they go yellow, and all you have to do then is literally put some brown on the weapons and stuff.
So what you're telling me is that my army would be a quick psh psh.
Psh, psh, blob. And you'd be taking advantage of the new paints that make painting them. I think you could literally do 10 skinks in one sitting, no problem at all.
Wait, we're talking about me painting.
Yeah.
This took a different turn.
Look, it's just a big brush. That's you'd be amazed how fast this paint works. You would.
I could try that.
You could try it, couldn't you?
Try
You
it.
could try it.
Yeah, if you got me all the stuff that I needed.
So we'll get you. How many more skinks do you want? How many skinks have you actually got?
Well, they're all different colours and special. The problem is as well, they're not. I think I need all blowpipey ones, and they're not all blowpipey ones. That's only 10. I'm sure I had more than that. Because these are supposed to be chameleon skinks, but they're not actually chameleon skinks.
We're getting some stuff through on the chat now while you were working that out. So, skinks are the way to go for objectives, which we've seen those. You need 3 of those. Patrick says, my advice will be to summon an Eternity Warden next to the Slan so he can take the wounds for him. I don't think you have an Eternity Warden, do you?
I do. Or I had a converted one, maybe. But again, I think I may have taken it to the last tournament and it wasn't a problem. Is that one?
Is that your Eternity Warden?
Or is
I
that
think
just
that's
a
just the
special?
banner dude,
What about
isn't
that
it?
one?
That's just the banner dude. Still the banner dude.
What about that one?
No, he's not an Eternity Warden. He was a Scar veteran, I think.
Oh.
I don't think you have the Eternity Warden.
That one.
Wait, is that the dude with the double-handed thing? Might well be. He was a conversion, so arguably you've got an Eternity Warden.
Yeah.
It's a bit dodgy, but we'll get away with it because tears. But this is the real. This is the real bummer. Don't hold me, but I don't think you can summon more than one unit. So just keep in mind that you can only summon 10 skinks at a time for 6 points. So you can't summon a block of 40, but instead 4. Oh, okay. You can still summon 4. They just can't be a block of 40. They will be 4 units of 10. Which is okay. That's okay, because you'll just shove them together and no one will know.
Although don't you have the rules where they can't touch each other or something.
No, well, no,
Am I
Sigmar
making
doesn't
stuff
really
up?
have that. You used to have some kind of restrictions around how close one unit could be next to the other, and that was kind of a 40k hangover. Doesn't apply in Sigmar.
Might need to learn the
Contrast
rules
paints
before the
are
tournament.
made. See, Frank Storm is saying contrast paints made for Rachel's painting.
Yay!
You'd be amazed at these paints. They really do work. They're quite cool. So I'm going to see.
Get the paints.
Yeah. Well,
You could even make a show of
yellow.
it, Phil. You could make a show of me trying to paint. And if I can do it, then that's basically marketing for GW.
You've just proven that the contrast paints will work. So let's have a look.
If Rachel can do it, anyone can. That is how they should market it.
What, if Rachel can do it, anybody can? That should be the strapline.
Yes.
They went for like one thick coat, but I'm with you.
Yeah,
I think they could have gone
yeah,
with
they
that.
could have done that.
Oh, I've lost the event already. Look,
I mean,
so
they should just hire
somewhere
me on their marketing team. I just know that.
Well, they'd be so much better off, wouldn't they?
Guys, what are these things called?
Right, it's really, it's really hard to try and talk and search at the same time. That's
Well,
something
do you want me
can't
to do the talking for
No,
you?
there you go. There's Fest. So
There we go.
let's just see. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up the well. I've got so many screens running at the moment. Will this work? Let's just try that. Yeah,
Hey.
you go. So somewhere in here, look. This is what I was talking about. These are
they're
the
cool.
paints, and that's one coat. That's one coat just applied to that model over top of white.
One thick coat.
Yeah, one thick coat. So all of these guys were done with the new paint. So they're pretty impressive, and they get some pretty instant results.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
actually blended though.
Oh.
That's two splodged together.
No, that's
Hey,
two
that's
coats.
still
That's
within your.
still out there.
That's still within
No,
your
it's
reach.
really-
That's the kind of yellow we were talking
So
about. Look.
adventurous.
And then I think if we get into this,
Oh,
you
I
can
mean,
kind of
look,
see.
we're talking multiple colours here, though.
No,
Phil.
I know,
It's-
but like literally one
mean-
colour, two colour. Come on, you can do this.
I can't stay between the lines.
Well, that's part of it.
What if I do
Staying-
like the bulk of it, and then you do the picking out of the detail where you have to be neat?
Well, maybe. Look, this is one where I use the yellow. Look. So this was a test one. It took me like 40 seconds to do that model. It was actually about 90 seconds.
I
But
think it
come
was
on,
even longer than
you
that.
can do
Phil.
that. So this was just a test model.
I feel like you
We're
might be
having a bit of fun.
exaggerating.
I'm not at all. So we're good. I think you could probably paint 80 skinks.
Where are we
So
getting
we're-
these 80 skinks from, Phil?
From the skink shop. That's where everybody gets their skinks from. So, yeah, well, you've got 20 skinks, have you?
I mightn't.
Which is your battle line, isn't it?
Well, I thought I did, but they don't all seem to be there.
That's a bit worrying.
Oh no, maybe they are. 'Cause maybe these count. The problem is some of them have got the wrong weapons. Because they're all supposed to have blowpipes. But I think
Right,
some have got
okay.
javelins.
So I actually think it might be worth getting 20 more skinks one way or another and having a look at what's involved in that. Because they wouldn't
Yeah,
take
so
that
they've
long to
got
paint up, would
javelins.
they? 20 more skinks. Yeah, look. Little javelins, look. Yellow plate, blob, 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 blob.
I want the blowpipes.
Oh, you want the blowpipes? Well, okay. We can do that.
Okay.
So the skinks will give you some objective stuff if you need sort of that mid-game objective grabbing to score some points. There are other games where you want to hold the objective from the start. So what you can keep doing is just
Oh, I can
throwing
summon my
skinks onto it.
Yeah.
Just keep going and going and going.
Yeah, actually I could teleport, because I could teleport the skinks over there initially
Yeah,
to hold the objective, and then like you say, just keep piling more on.
Just keep
as the
piling
game
more in.
goes on.
yeah.
And then send some Ripidactyls in.
And that way, if Pink goes quite elite with his list, you can kind of rapidly add numbers. Because at 6 points, you could be kind of sticking 20 skinks on the table.
Nah.
And if they're getting wiped out, you just keep recycling those models for future summoning.
Oh, that is nasty, isn't it?
Yeah, but
That's
fun.
like the games where you have waves of like zombies and stuff, and they just have to keep beating the waves, and then more come. Like Gears of War. The Gears of War
what's
had
it called though, where you have to do that? Oh,
There is a special name for that type of game, isn't
yeah.
there?
Someone will tell us in the chat. Right, well, how are we doing for time? We're pretty much coming to a close. I think we've pretty much got there, which is surprising,
so.
really. We had an hour's chat
It's-
there. The list at the
Almost
moment.
like it was
then,
a productive chat, though. I'm like,
well-
are we feeling okay? I'm glad we sat down for this.
I know I'm a little bit dizzy.
I know. I think someone needs to send help.
And, well, certainly to help paint skinks.
Yeah.
So answer the person. Let's just go back to the chat. Are there special prime paints for the contrast? Yes, there are 2 colours. They are white and bone white, which is yes, essentially that. There is a bony, creamy coloured, and then there is a grey.
You told me there was one.
Well, no, you just spray them a colour. You will use the bony
becoming
colour.
more and more work.
Let me finish. There is a grey colour which is very cold, so it's a grey, blue, white, and then there is a bone colour which is kind of a yellow, white. And the reason they've done that is whichever one of those primers you use, if you want the yellow to look quite rich and not bleached out, then you use the bony colour, and so you'll be using the bone one. That's all you need because all of your stuff. Well, for starters, yellow anyway.
Yes.
You'd be using the bone one anyway. So, I mean, I could just airbrush them anyway, let's face it. And you could do the washes instead. That's never going to happen. So, the primers are pretty cool. What does it say here? But they don't think they should have an issue with greater white zenithal or anything should create more contrast. You can't use black primer with these paints. You know what? I think you're absolutely right. You probably can't use black primer, but
Does that matter?
Well, at the end of the day, they're kind of a technical specialist paint. So I think all sorts of stuff could go off if you tried it. If you put it over black, you would have some very, very deep reds, which traditionally some people find quite hard to get the dark part of red. So if you don't mind blending up from a dark colour, you could go the Mepheson red, the new one, over black and blend right up to the highlights. It's not how they're meant to be used, but I still think we are going to see a whole bunch of experimentation with these new paints because they're something unique.
That's pretty cool then.
Yeah. I mean, like I've said, the closest thing I've used them is kind of the watercolor gel paints, but they're different again. They are different again. Apparently those primers have like a glossy finish work, so it might be necessary to use some varnish. No, they didn't. They were quite matte. And they're supposed to take zenithal well. I wouldn't be surprised if they were over a zenithal. They'd work really well. I did know that some of the GW guys have been working with them since the turn of the year. And I did chat to some of them kind of off the record about what they'd been using them
Which you're
for.
now putting on the record.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say who said it, but and I don't think it's that big a secret now. It's all out. The products are out, but they've been using them since the turn of the year. And the kind of things they were saying is exactly they're designed as a paint range that's if you've got a sea of grey that's never got painted, this will help you get your army painted in a weekend. Cool. But saying that, they've got some really interesting properties. They behave a really interesting way, and it's a definitely an addition to the painter's toolkit. I'll be using them. I can see all sorts of uses for sort of pre-shaded bases and stuff like that. That's what it provides you. Nothing stopping you doing edge highlighting and layering up and those kind of things from there. Right, where were we at? Hey, I'm arriving late, says Roshi. Are you guys still doing bat reps? Yes, we are. In fact, we're filming a bat rep tomorrow. The last few bat reps have been released to premium, basically, because that's where I've been focusing where the bat reps go. But we're going to be doing a few more bat reps. We're kicking it off. So, and in fact, we're filming tomorrow night, and I think tomorrow night is... I'm not quite sure. It's definitely Slaneshi Beastmen, because Liam's playing.
Okay.
But I don't know what Jack's planning on taking against them, so I have no idea. I think it might be Slaneshi Beastman versus... Well, if I had to guess, I'm going to say Flesh Eater Corps.
That could be
So
interesting.
there you go. Right, we're at 9:28.
Woo.
2 minutes to go. I'm going to thank you for coming along.
That's okay. I'm not sure I actually ever help.
It was good fun.
It's always good fun.
It's like the gel paint strong pigments with lots of mediums, and I'm going to show that. I think your message got blocked, G-Day, the lucky one, but I'm going to show it because I think they thought you were being rude at the end there. But you're talking about a drying retarder. I don't think it is drying retarder. I think it's more like a gel. They didn't take that long to dry. That's the truth. It's kind of like a flow aid. It's kind of like a gel. But really I talked
bizarre.
about, I was on Frost and Fish show on Saturday night, I think. Check out their chat because I talked for quite a long time
That doesn't sound like
about
you.
the paints. And they said, "Can you come along to the show?" And I think
For a quick
I
chat.
talked for like 90 minutes, and then at the end they went, "Okay, goodbye, Phil." But no, it was great. Those guys are such good fun. They're great fun. We were like on the chat to each other about 45 minutes before we went live.
Oh, wow.
Just winding each other up and having a real giggle. So go check out Frost and Fist. If you've not seen them, given them a sub, just search Frost and Fist. You'll know it when you found them.
I just thought, did you ever put up my last bat rep that I did? I mean,
That's
it was
on-
a long time ago.
I think it's on premium, that
Oh,
one.
is it?
No, it's on premium.
Oh.
Yeah. I will, when I'm happy that we've built up a bit of a head on premium, because there's still 4 more to release to premium yet. When we've built up a head, we'll start moving some over to YouTube again as well. But we had a bit of a backlog, but we're definitely onto it again.
Awesome.
So filming, and I know that, there's people out there, some of our wonderful editors who are just saying, "Hey, Phil, I need something new to edit." So we'll be filming tomorrow night.
Yay.
We'll have a good old fun back rep. And then if I can convince you to do some test games,
Yeah,
then,
actually,
at the very
yeah.
least, if we do
I'll
a
be
live
coming
one
back
for
to the channel, I
YouTube,
think.
that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Because there's nothing like playing against you for fun. Okay. I think we're there. I've got work to do. I've got to build Ripidactyls.
Apparently.
And go down to the skink shop.
Yeah.
I think you need those skinks. I think the
I think
guys
they
are
could
right.
be pretty cool, yeah.
I think you need that. So, anybody got any more advice for Rachel? Any, if you want to
could just
send
comment on the
any
videos,
1,000 point lists with your reasoning behind it, get onto the forum on wargameronline.com as well. There's a place
That's a
there
good
you
shout.
can submit lists on the forum.
Ooh.
So just put list for Rachel's Seraphon, and if you want to make suggestions, that would be brilliant, and I'll review those in a future show, or just make comments below and we might revisit this. Rachel, if you're free sometime in the next few weeks before the tournament, let's do a recap, see where we're
what
at.
I actually ended up with and what's
What's got
painted.
paid. I mean, I know what I need to finish off now. We definitely need to get this Engine of the God
Yes.
finished. I think we definitely need to get those little whatever they're called. What are they called?
Bastillodon.
Bastillodons finished.
He's about done, isn't he?
Yeah, I think these guys are kind of... Oh, yeah, actually, they were
think
pretty
he's
much
done,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
it's this guy that needs his little front platform
Yeah.
doing. Okay, we're done. Good night, all. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And thank you, Rachel, for joining me. It was a pleasure as ever.
Welcome.
We'll see you soon.
I helped. Night, guys.
Good night. I've got to get to the button. There you go. See you all. Hope you enjoyed
Bye.
it. Bye.